First of all, I went to the store today and bought one of the newest iPods that just came out, and we're gonna be raffling that. So if anybody's interested in buying tickets, I'll try and find one of our board members sometime tomorrow and at any time this weekend, because we're gonna be selling those tickets so that y'all can win that brand new iPod. So
accessible.
yeah, it is accessible. I will add that.
How much are the tickets?
I believe they're gonna be five.
Five, yeah.
And it's a brand new one, so it's the newest one that came out. It was a
What?
More than five.
More than five.
Yeah, it was more than five.
More than $5.
We're talking about a really expensive iPod here. So, yeah, it is an 8 gig iPod. So, yeah, anybody interested in taking home?
Why not? Straight up.
Yeah. It's at $5. You can get yourself a chance to win it and take it home with you. Alrighty. Another thing I want to do. We have some sighted people in the building. Did anyone notice anything about when I came up here? It's a trick question. No, I'm just kidding. The reason I'm asking is because, the fact that I came up here all by myself. This may seem like a little thing to some of you. For some of you, it's probably not a big deal. For me, it is. It's a very big deal, and it makes all the difference. Because one of the first things I learned when I got involved with TABS, when I went to my first TABS convention back in 2005, and I've told this story before, back at Spring Convention through my, for those of you who were there, I had a recorded speech since I wasn't able to attend. And those of you who heard that, I did mention this, but I'm going to mention it again in person. And when I started, one of the first things that I noticed about people, because even like just coming before I even came into convention, that convention was in Austin, by the way. We flew down there. I met up with some girls that I knew, and they had a little bit of vision. And I was surprised because they never relied on someone to help them. They never asked for a sighted guide. I mean, we had people that we were following, and I was like trying to take them sighted guide, and they were like, no, you don't need to take them sighted guide. You can just walk by yourself and follow them. It's like, really? And the reason I say this is because when I was young, I had a fear that I was going to have to hold people's hands for the rest of my life. And when I joined TABS, I found out that that wasn't true. That, I could follow people, I could use my cane. This is my pride and joy. It symbolizes independence. And that's the very first thing and most important thing, I think, that I learned from TABS. So, yeah, independence to me is very important. And everybody who knows me knows that it is. But it's really been a pleasure serving TABS. As most of you will know, I've been on the board for 2 years, but I've actually been a part of the organization for much longer. And with that, I've seen many changes along the way. Before I became a part of TABS, I took time to learn about the organization. In doing so, I learned not only about the NFB as a whole and what being blind really means, but I also met many new friends along the way. I had several opportunities to use skills that I had acquired during the office positions that I had before I joined TABS, but more importantly still, I learned that a blind person can lead a normal social life. Before I knew about TABS, I would have never been able to imagine how much fun it could be to put candy in bags, tie knots on them, and maybe even steal some along the way. And some people in this room remember that.
Not being a minister.
Yeah, he did it.
Don't look at me, y'all.
He's the one.
Jeff's loudest.
AC2.
I guess my point here is that I could have never saw myself doing it without help, and that was just amazing to me. I really had a lot of fun doing that, and that's one of the memories. To me, that's one of the many memories I will cherish. Later on the same year that we did that, someone in need of help that I'm looking at because I cared, I decided to help with the fundraising. In doing this, not only was I able to get my foot in the door and land my first TABS board position, but I also learned that anyone can help no matter their position. In saying this, I will add that without an actual board position, I raised somewhere around $50 through a candy sale in school. That was without being on the board. That was because I wanted to help out one of my friends who was on the board. And at the end of that year, was 2008, I got the courage to run for elections and landed my position as treasurer for 2009 TABS board. As treasurer, I did even more fundraising and continued to learn about TABS. That year, I had the honor to work with some of the finest individuals I have ever met. Motivated by the high spirits of the previous TABS board members serving before my time, I learned what it really meant to represent the organization I care about. At last year's election, I decided to step up and become vice president. This year, I must say, has been one of the more challenging years because times are hard in general. However, Southern Strums would probably have to be, for me, the most successful event. Not only this year, but that I've ever seen for a while. This year's event was not only the first Southern Strums I'd ever been able to attend, and I'm very honored to have been able to make that trip possible. But it really was an awesome event, and I continue to feel very honored to have been a part of that success we found in that event alone. If there's one thing I've learned throughout my time serving on the board, it's this. It doesn't matter how many people go to each convention, because the Texas Association of Blind Students has, and always will have, its loyal members who will stick with the organization through the good and the bad. There is no doubt in my mind that TABS will continue to strive for success, because as long as we know how to communicate effectively, we'll do fine. Now, if there's one thing I would like you all to learn from me, it's this. There's no greater means of support than the support we give each other, day by day. After all, we all live the same life. There may be differences in circumstances, but ultimately, we all have had to face some of the same kinds of issues. This organization, and I would even go as far as to say the NFB, is like a second family to me. And turning my back on you all would be like turning my back on my own big family. I intend to continue serving as a means of support for those who will accept it, even after the end of this year. I will formally be leaving the organization, but I will not be leaving you. Nowadays, there are so many means of networking, and I have no doubt we shall all meet again. May you vote wisely in the upcoming elections, as I trust that you all will keep the organization running to the best of your ability. I feel confident that you all will continue to stick together, and I will leave on that note. But I can't say I'd be leaving forever, since it's such a small world after all. But the power is now set upon each and every one of you. I value each and every person in this room, both as a part of TABS and as an individual. Even my blindness will not deprive me of seeing the many positive qualities in each person in this room. Take those qualities with you, and always remember that not only are you representing yourself, but that you are also representing the blind community as a whole. I will end this by saying, may the organization pass to the hands of those who are best fit to run it. I thank those of you who have given me the opportunity to serve during the time I have, and now my path seems to be turning here in my better interest. I will always cherish the wonderful experiences and the memories I have with each one of you that I've had the honor to meet along the way as I continue down the road that is now calling my attention. I will miss you all, though life must go on. There is no doubt in my mind that there will be bigger and better opportunities for all of us in the future. Good luck to those of you who have it in your hearts to run for your respective positions. The road will be rocky, but you'll make it. We'll meet again. I'll be around for those of you who wish to find me. Thank you.